A memorandum of understanding was inked between the US Embassy in Colombo and the Bar Association of Sri Lanka today.
Yes, though the MOU USA will sponsor the Bar Association program entitled Civil Society Initiatives to Support the Rule of Law.
This program will support continuing professional, legal and judicial level education, strengthen legal aid services and bolster the research and advocacy role of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. This grant will also assist with the renovation of the law library, the refurbishment of the Bar Association auditorium and the organisation of a labour law conference in February 2014.
Tyranny and impunity raised its head. The Bar did not give up. We believe in justice. We believe in independence of judiciary, the integrity and independence of the legal system and judicial institutions, and the very law itself cannot be of concern only to lawyers and the judges. It is of paramount concern of all citizens to have regard and respect for rule of law. It is a paramount duty of both the judiciary and the bar to guard and protect the rule of law, and as the head of the bar, I can state with all conviction that the bar will discharge its duty.
The U.S. agrees with the Bar Association leadership that more can be done, more should be done to support the rule of law and the administration of justice. The Bar Association has done exemplary work in serving its members and building capacity in terms of professional development. But the Bar Association is also seen as a defender of liberty, justice here in Sri Lanka. The Bar is the national representative of the legal profession. So these are universal values, liberty and justice. All of us, every one of us, has a responsibility to ensure that all uphold and protect these values.
Members of the Government Midwifery Service Union gathered in Colombo today to stage a demonstration against the decision to provide midwifery training to nurses.
The Government Midwifery Service Union charges that 50% of the students who have completed their training at nursing schools began training in midwifery today. The union points out that activities that take place during pregnancy, when giving birth and post-pregnancy period take center stage in the activities of a midwife.
Midwifery training began in 1883 from the Disoisa Women's Hospital. This training was launched by midwives, not nurses. Venerable Muruthettuwe Anandathera has no knowledge about the activities involved in midwifery. Midwives are there to engage in the service of midwifery. Therefore, please do not meddle in this service.
Following the demonstration, several trade union representatives met with the Secretary to the Ministry of Health and handed over a letter highlighting their issues. Thereafter, the demonstrators marched to the Presidential Secretariat's office. The protest march commenced by the Government Midwifery Service Union was halted in this manner on Lotus Street by the police. Usually, protests are stopped by the male members of the police force. However, female members of the police were deployed to stop this protest. They are continuing their demonstration at this location with the hope of voicing their concern to the President or an official from the Presidential Secretariat. Thereafter, several trade union members were given the opportunity to hand over a letter highlighting their concerns to the Presidential Secretariat. They noted that a senior assistant secretary engaged in discussions with them and accepted their letter on behalf of the President. If nurses obtain training in all spheres, then they will be able to serve the people of this country in a better way. I don't know why some people are against this. If they are against other people being trained, it is unethical.
හෙද සේවාවයි වින්නඹු සේවාවයි කියන්නේ.
Nursing and midwifery are two technically different services. Obstetricians, gynecologists, public health specialists and ministerial officers in charge of technical assistance are all of the opinion that the labour rooms should be run by midwives and not nurses. Disregarding technical decisions and bowing down to trade union pressure will be dangerous.
භයානක තීරණයක් වෙනවා ඇති.
Issuing a media release, Secretary to the Ministry of Health Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka notes that midwives will not be removed from midwifery training, adding that no policy decision has been made to provide midwifery training to nurses. Meanwhile, expectant mothers from several areas add their views on the work carried out by midwives.
I live in a very remote area. Our midwife travels by foot mostly and visits us to look into our well-being. If we call her, she immediately comes to aid us, disregarding all the hardships she faces. We appreciate the service rendered by midwives.
And now, in a headline-making story, the head of the International Monetary Fund, Christine Lagarde, has warned about the risks of global economic recovery of deflation. In a speech in Washington, she said that they see the rising risk of deflation, which could prove disastrous for the recovery. There has, for example, been growing debate about whether deflation might take hold of the Eurozone, where inflation remains persistently below the European Central Bank's target.
Now that's right, Lagarde also warned about the volatility that could accompany the US Federal Reserve's gradual withdrawal of monetary stimulus. Now there is concern this could push up global interest rates, which could affect the flow of money in and out of developing countries and lead to more volatile international financial markets.
Meanwhile, the World Bank has said the global economy is at a turning point, the World Bank has said, as it forecasts stronger growth for 2014.
Now, in its annual report on the world economy, the bank said that richer countries appear to be finally turning a corner after the financial crisis. Secretary to the President on Parliamentary Affairs, Kumarasiri Hettige, says that the current generation should be directed to walk on the right path in order to avoid a recurrence of the past.
He made this statement during an event held in Deniaya yesterday.
Religious observances and several social events were held in lieu of the 138th anniversary of the Deniaya Kotapola National College. The event was also held to mark the enrolling of new students for the year 2014. 10 students of the Kotapola National College who qualified for university entrance were presented with savings accounts courtesy of the Kumarasiri Hettige Foundation yesterday. Differently able persons were presented with wheelchairs at the ceremony.
This is a society drenched in blood. This is a blood-drenched land. Let's make sure that the country will not experience this again. In order to avoid social and political disputes and in order to develop the nation, we need to teach the next generation of the country.
Thereafter, the residential secretary took part in religious observances.
And now we have the newspaper cartoon of the day.
Well, tonight on Words of Wisdom, we take a look at the words of one of the greatest heavyweights in sports history, Muhammad Ali. A man who views the world the same at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. Muhammad Ali, former professional boxer.